After 3 crazy opening games and an extremely long game number 4, my vocal cords might be complaining, my throat might be sore, but I must see the end of this series. Because right now, WWWCatZ and Morrow are tied 2-2 with one of these players going to the final. We talked a little bit before in game number 4 that WWWCatZ really has to choose a nice open map where he can exploit the mech of Morrow, and he has done exactly that, choosing Core Hall City. In the left-hand position, the team captain of Root, 1 game away from the grand finals, it is WWWCatZ. And in the right position, the meching Terran player from Team Western Wolves, it is Morrow. Morrow not going to mess around, setting himself up for a wall-off. I will note this map has some nice benefits of going mech. We can easily move down, and this space, though wide, is not difficult for a mech player to defend, giving easy access to the 3rd base, and of course, as the mech army gets large enough, scooping up to the 4th is fairly straightforward. Any other attempt to take a base is a nightmare. This is the next reasonable 5th. There is no other candidate for a 5th base for Morrow. This leaves his backside wide open for drops, for Nidus network play. Likewise, the middle of the map does have these caverns in the middle that cause a little bit of, maneuverability issues with some, steam gas, some ejection facilities right here blocking vision in between the caverns. So, a lot of opportunities for Zerg to flank. Difficult to set up a really clean push as mech. In fact, a lot of players think that you should actually push down to the left and then up again as a mech player to pierce into this set of expansions for Zerg. Either way, WWWCatZ must play very standard on this map. It's a little bit too difficult to break into a Terran base because, look at it. Just look at it. There's no logic in that statement. It's just one of those palms in the air. Come on, man. Are you really going to try to cheese a Terran who can wall off while his command center is building? In fact, I wouldn't be surprised looking at the vision. Yeah, it looks like Drone Scout did manage to get all the way over there and check out that, yep, it's going to be a very standard play. So let's talk a little bit about Zerg options. Ooh, what? What? 4-minute gas geysers. Now, 5-minute gas geysers I can comprende because that's a lot like the 4-queen defense. Getting up an eventual layer tech seems so far so good, but getting up... Oh, a cancel. Oh, you dastardly man, you. Yeah, if I'm Morrow, I'm immediately going, oh my god, there could be mutas coming out very swiftly. There could be... fast Nidus network, fast Roach, all that shenaniganry. But right now, looks like WWWCatZ is... He lost an Overlord, so he wasn't able to build the extra queens. Is he just going to go straight for the expansion? There's now the 5-minute extractors. Is he... Oh, I do not like this play. Yuck. I'm not making a lot of sense out of this, because if you go fast gas... Your opponent's going to go, oh, he could be doing a tech-based opening. Aha, I must get some defense for fast tech. And then you can exploit that by expanding, by canceling these and expanding. But if you build these at 4 minutes and then cancel them and then rebuild them at 5 minutes, then it's entirely possible that your opponent will have the easiest defense in the world. Because your opponent's saying, oh, he's going fast tech. Oh, wait, he's doing the same tech as before, but slower. Now, this all could be moot, as I could have just been a dunce, and WWWCatZ may have just got supply blocked and did a double extractor trick to get an extra queen out. But in every circumstance other than that one, I don't see a lot of sense to it. Mine's coming up. Morrow, again. You want fast gas? I'm expecting fast tech attacks. Look at these. 2 mines rallied back. Not messing around. Morrow playing very strong, very defensive. WWWCatZ doing his standard play, going for this this thing. The Evolution Chamber. Give me a break, I just casted a 48-minute game. I would anticipate that he gets a Roach Warren coming up soon, but normally he has it completely built by now, so... In Camp Morrow, still going for the very fast Banshee play. There is the Roach Warren now. Burrow may very well start in the next few seconds. Now, in WWWCatZ's position, there needs to be some way to take 2 bases quickly. Zerg very desperately needs 3 bases against Terran to feel that ease of comfort in the mid game. So staying at 2 bases really means that you need to get 4 bases fast, but look at this. There's the third, and a little bit of wiggliness over at this layer means that there's going to be drops coming up soon. Roach Warren now en route. We're starting to see another command center being constructed by Morrow. He's getting ready to take his own third. Oh, this could be a devastating blow. There's the scan. Doesn't get anything useful. Still no scan over at the expansion. Will he even get the chance to see any roaches? No. Oh man, this could be bad news for Morrow. There's a second scan. Alright, so Morrow right now sees the wiggling layer. Knows that something's being constructed. This means it's all defense time for Morrow. Morrow's really not going to want to step out into the middle of the map. It's kind of weird. These Hellions and Banshees do not have the aggressive role that they ordinarily have. The one thing that WWMorroW does have the advantage of is saying, hey, I've done this twice before, and I did an attack at the front. Now I can surprise you by doing a drop at the back, but I'm still not convinced that Morrow's going to fall for that. More Hellions being produced. Wants to be in a good position for some sort of hellback drop. Vengeful Sax finishing up. Where's Overlord Speed? It is already done. Rock Tower standing strong. 4th base. Opportunity coming up for WWMorroW. Morrow is well behind on the supply count. 86 to 102. The army value definitely in WWMorrow's favor. In the unit station, we're seeing a little bit of a drone lead and attempt at a 3rd base. And this is exactly the time when WWMorroW wants to strike. He wants to step forward, imply that he's going to attack here, and then just cut up and drop right in. Looks like that might be exactly what he's doing. Where is the Overlord fleet? Is there an Overlord fleet, or was it just a ploy? Oh, there they are. Starting to hook right back down to the natural. There needs to be some bait. There needs to be some way to trick. There's the Banshees right up in front and center. He can't go too far forward or he's just going to eat all those Widow Mines. He needs to back up. Sends in 3. A nice play. Instantly cutting up back to these Overlords. And it looks like WWMorrow's completely underprepared. 16 roaches about to drop. Well, 14 roaches. These 3 down at the south side are only encountering some weak Hellion resistance. And now the roaches drop up in the main base, and Morrow is going to have a real defensive puzzle to solve. How does he get up what he needs to hold on strong here? Overlord's actually going to go try to drop in the main base, but there aren't even any SCVs there. WWMorroW has already pulled everything every which way. It looks like a roach down in the bottom left doing some nice damage. The roaches in the main also dealing some nice damage to these SCVs. The attack finally gets killed off. WWMorroW gets 18 workers though, and is going to follow this assault up with a Nidus network. Very nice play. Continuing to do lift and land micro with just a single Overlord. Continue to do more lift and land micro at these backsides. More roaches stream into the front base, but the mines have not moved yet. There's just too many vulnerable locations. I'm not sure that Morrow can really defend this. The mines connect in a huge way. But the southern expansion is certainly going to suffer massive losses. More roaches rally across. Nidus network going down where? Where is the Nidus network? Seriously, where's that Nidus network? I can't find it anywhere. I have no idea. It doesn't matter anymore. Structures tab. Where is it? Found it right outside the front. Now WWMorroW is just dealing damage to these expansions, and I mean Morrow is in... He is in a world of trouble. I mean WWMorrow is manipulating this map just fantastically. Continued drops at the backside. Continued drops in at the natural. I mean this expansion is lifted up now. The only question is, how is WWMorroW going to transition out of this? He doesn't really have anything mining at his 4th base. His 3rd is still a little drone light as well. Per usual, Morrow's getting that lead in upgrades. 1-1 upgrades, done. I mean, WWMorroW can drone up. He could have hived up already and followed up with some blinding cloud. Would have been a magnificent little move. Mines planted at the backside. Are going to connect a little bit and not pick off the Overlord before it unloads. Wow, I mean, WWMorroW might be getting a little bit overeager here. WWMorroW might be thinking to himself, I've got this one. No reason to move. Just going to continue to harass, and the workers killed. 35 down right now. Morrow's still holding steady at 47 workers, but not on 3 bases. Still just stuck down to those low geyser counts. And there, KatZ is saturating the expansion. There's the infestation pit. I mean, the only criticism I'd really have about KatZ early play is not as swift a hive. As much damage as those drops are almost guaranteed to do, unless you win with them, you really do need that follow-up. You really do need some way to say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to go for Blinding Cloud, or surprise, I have Ultralisks. Something to deal with that critical damage. These 2 Overlords are going to be perfect opportunities to Nidus Network later on. So now it's time for Morrow to begin to step in. In the Morrow vision front, we see that he has seen almost nothing of his opponents in a long time. He's going to begin trying to perform the counterattack. Does he have Blue Flame? Nope, just regular upgrades. And oh no! Oh, KatZ doesn't see it! KatZ does not respond quickly enough. He does throw down the burrow. Is there enough for a scan? I mean, do you really want to spend a scan if your economy is that bad? Morrow's going to try to worm his way out of it. Man, what a crazy last game. It's really unclear that anyone has a huge edge at this point. KatZ can really only be claimed to have a minor edge given how late those blinding clouds are on the Vipers. In the main base, nothing but tanks, Hellions, mines, defense set up. Finally, the 3rd will land soon. There it goes down. Uh-oh. Banshees have been given the drop plays a problem. Not for long. Missile turrets being planted up in the main base. He might just go for a drop on top of these. No, he's actually going to sneak around to this backside with Hydra Roach and hit them before the turrets come up. And there it is. It looks like he's going to be dropping directly onto the siege tanks. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Right now, instantly it picks off one of the tanks. The rest of the Roach Hydra unload. But they go straight into the tank grinder. That did not pan out well at all for KatZ. It's going to be up to this drop down to the bottom side to really deal the needed damage. A single Thor there, but perfectly positioned to have max repair. Oh, wow. It looks like KatZ actually gets thwarted in this initial attempt, but has a lot of gas, a lot of minerals. Can easily begin that Viper production. Vipers are going to be pretty critical against the meching force. Tanks try to move around. It looks like Morrow. There's the 2 Vipers in production right now. 12 more Roaches coming up. Hydra's not really well suited to deal with these mech armies. Jeez. Basically Roach Viper at this point for KatZ. Needs to get up enough Vipers to do a big bust, but the other thing that we're seeing out of KatZ is not a whole lot of expanding. Still 4 base, and in about 2 seconds it's going to be a 4 bases Terran as well. And I think it's so easy to kind of fall into that trap of thinking, oh, what's my kill move? Let me try to just destroy my opponent right now. When in reality, you don't have to do that at all. Oh my god, the Lucky Patrol barely sees those Overlords moving in. Does Morrow react, or will he just rely on the sensor tower? He's planting more turrets immediately. This is exactly how Idra defeated Morrow. Could just sneak along this right flank. Spire coming up. We've seen last game that Broodlords are really not the answer to mech. Hardly any defense at the front. Are you serious? Oh no! 3 Vikings show up at just the right time. We'll pick off 1 Overlord. Can they get more? 2 Overlords fall. Oh, the entire Terran force awaits them. Oh my god. Oh my god, a brutal loss for KatZ. Oh! Essentially for free. Morrow, though, does have the issues with the front being under fire. It looks like KatZ is going to take the opportunity to once again go straight for the 3rd base. Did buy himself a little bit of time with that failed drop at the back, but needs to pick off almost every one of these SCVs for this to be considered a worthwhile exchange. Morrow's going to not even unsiege, going to send the SCVs into the fight. And it's a massacre. Zerg has the expand up, 10 Corruptors, en route Greater Spire. So not a fan of the Greater Spire in this position. I mean, Blinding Cloud is going to deny the tanks, and with more Roaches, there's still more opportunities to break in, still more ways to take additional expansions, but with this immobile Corruptor, Broodlord, Infestor army, it's too difficult. The Banshee's actually going to be the one to take down this expansion unless the Corruptors can rally forth and take it down ASAP. MorroW's getting maximum utility out of this Banshee Viking mixture. 3-3 is almost finishing up. By the 25-minute mark, it looks like they'll all be done. It's not that quick. It's not late either. Doesn't really matter given the fact that MorroW's just been holding on for such a long time. Looks like MorroW... Wow, WWMorroW appears to have noticed the amount of pullback that MorroW used. How he completely abandoned his front. So WWMorroW might be planning on doing some sort of little trick move, revealing the Overlords, letting them all fall down. Uh-oh. What is he going to do? Is MorroW going to answer? Is WWMorroW going to move in for the attack? Oh, nope. No trick at all. Looks like MorroW was starting to get a little bit of unsiegeness to pull back to the back of his base. Nice little micro trick. 8 Broodlords now popping out. The Corruptor count tumbles down to around 8 as well. Vikings just spreading out, and now it looks like MorroW's realizing, okay, here is a good place to take a 5th base. Given the positioning of these command centers, he might even be going north. Ugh, I'm not a fan of that. Well, looks like he's just going to direct himself up along this path, so he may as well just begin dropping up there. Small numbers, you don't really see these sorts of Harappan forces with regular mech, but it's harder to swarm. There's the Ignite Afterburners. There's the Emergency Thrusters upgrade. Target firing, easily picking it off. We'll lose nothing! Oh! Welcome to the red zone. Red WWMorroW, red game selection face, red unit, health bar, red cheeks on the face of ROOTCatZ. Expansion's going down willy-nilly for MorroW, just burning minerals as best he can. Can easily throw down some mules, which are essentially free, to get a little bit of income down at that southern edge. One shot, one volley from those Vikings, and the Broodlords are gone. Broodlords just not the answer to late-game mech. No Ravens in this circumstance, though. Queens are there, still trying to do the transfuses, but, I mean, the Viking count is not falling at all. And again, this drop picks off the expansions. MorroW's defending like a genius this game. I don't even know how he's still in this. But here he is, just waltzing right on over the Broodlord force. Doesn't matter if there's queens on the ground. He trundles forth, annihilates everything at the front. A single infestor's not going to be enough. And WWMorroW starting to realize, oh my god, maybe I haven't won this game. One of the worst feelings you can ever have when you're playing in a tournament scenario is to think, oh, I've done it. I've beaten my opponent. I've won. And that was very much so happening around the 12, 14-minute mark. Drops happening all over the place. Zerg not really losing too much when compared to the amount of workers that the Terran's losing. And then all of a sudden, these attacks stop working. These bases begin falling, and you're realizing, oh god, I'm long-range mining, aren't I? I'm actually almost broke. My main's out, my natural's out, my 4th base, and my 3rd base are really all I've got. Planetary Fortress might win against this force, especially now that the mules are there. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. A terrible situation for Zerg. An impressive defense from MorroW. MorroW will be just holding strong at 4 bases. Doesn't really need a lot more than that to be able to secure himself a 5th base, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you can sneak a 5th base and your opponent doesn't even notice. Will there be any attempt to take down this expansion? WWMorroW really needs to make a decision of what he wants to do with his units. Is he engaging? Is he waiting for more Vipers? Vipers are being rallied to the center. There's a lot of Zerg units, and there's the melee attack and armor upgrade, so now it looks like SCV's getting killed off. Drops still being so annoying. KatZ needs to get in there. Oh, killing off the rock tower. That's going to collapse and deal a nice bit of damage to that planetary fortress. Blinding Cloud. See you later, planetary. Was not difficult to deal with, but does need to do the cleanup. Take them all out. Find these medevacs. Take those all out. Head down to the 4th base and try to take that out. But the fact that KatZ is just not scouting, so painful. I mean, already we're seeing about 100 gas has been mined from each of these refineries, but in terms of the minerals, it's thousands that has been taken from the south expansion. Whoa, a little bit of a greedy abduct there. Just wants to make sure those Hellions don't do any more movement forward. KatZ taking the expansion set that's most reasonable for him. KatZ scouting in the wrong direction, doesn't even realize that everything is still up here. MorroW's just chilling. MorroW's doing it right. He's building himself these 3 Ravens at a time. Just making sure that he stockpiles enough energy to be able to face against pretty much any force. And it looks like, oh, this is a very lucky moment for KatZ. Spots the planetary fortress, and it looks like MorroW is going to abandon ship. Nothing left to see here, but I mean, if you're KatZ and you're seeing that, you are real aware that the game is slipping away from you. Is there really planetary fortress wars? Oh, yes. Now the attempted move forward. KatZ is realizing that things are getting real. It's getting real right now, and it looks like the command center won't even fall. MorroW now extending himself way forward into the middle of the map, and there's the Thor tank drop. Whoa! 37 kill Thor has just killed off most of the workers. This move out was essentially a distraction to get that drop up at the Zerg's really critical 5th base. And with those Ignite Afterburners, they're going to boost right on over to the Zerg's brand new fresh 5th. I mean, MorroW is doing such a brilliant job manipulating this map. There's the Ultralisk Cavern going down now for KatZ. Finally, it looks like there will be enough units to deal with this. He needs to cut over. Where's the abduct? Where is the abduct? Oh, the Viking count is enormous. Already there to greet those Corruptors, but instead finding an Overlord vein, which MorroW's going to mine for extra kills. Can he get one more abduct in? He can. Takes it out. Picking off those Vikings a little bit at a time, but I mean, the Corruptor count is just not very high. 8 Vikings now. Still 10 Vikings. 11 Vikings? Way too many Vikings. Broodlords getting themselves caught off guard. Still seeing the patrolling going down. And will there be another planetary fortress? I mean, KatZ is just having a total fall apart moment. And I just spilled coffee on my pant leg. It's warm and uncomfortable, but nothing will stop me from seeing what goes down in this series. Now, with everything horrendous that has happened for KatZ in the last 15 minutes or so, he's still not out of this game. Can still maintain a stranglehold of the northern bases while locking down the southern bases. Just needs to be sure to have nice wide angle flanks through the center, from below, and from this entire top side segment. KatZ is moving down again. No, KatZ is there just to kill off a bait command center. I mean, that is a lot of mules, gonna get a lot of money, but they're all $0 expenditure for MorroW. MorroW's now moving flat out to the center of the map. A Nidus Worm goes down. He's going to be able to connect these bases together. Planetary Fortress falls. All these mules fall. A cold sprint for MorroW right through the center of the map to find anything vulnerable that he can. Nidus networking, connecting all the bases. Very nice move. MorroW's actually getting a little overeager. MorroW, why are you going so far forward? What are you going that far forward for, MorroW? MorroW's just going to assault the center. There's the Nidus network popping out right now. Ultralisks have arrived. This is a really funky, weird position. Where's the blinding clouds? Everything gets blinded right as they're sieging up. It looks like there will be some attempts to throw down some Seeker missiles. Will they deal the needed damage? They get a... Oh my god! Almost all the Roach Hydras obliterated in a matter of seconds. A few tanks remain. The mass Raven force is looking to be too much, but in this position, I mean, there's really no anti-air left. Ugh, a brutal final connection. Absolutely brutal. Auto turrets. Vikings on front. Back home, more Ravens. This entire Raven force continues to be the biggest pain in Zerg's butt. The Thor tank drop at the north picked off another critical expansion. 3 bases, no drones at him. All these drones that were doing the long-range mining are being picked off. Did Morrow actually do this? Now Morrow's even right in the face of the Nidus Worm will be able to kill it off with an auto turret and has gone double planetary fortress to prevent the surround. Now re-rallying to the south side. 3rd mined out. 4th base almost out, but 5k in the bank. Expansions falling one by one. Auto turrets continuing to pick off the main hatch. What a game. What a nuts game, Morrow. Defending, 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 defending. Best of 5 going all the way to Game 5. So now it looks like Morrow transfers everything to the southern expansion, and he gets picked off by some nice fungal growths. Is it enough? Ugh, massacre of workers, but Morrow almost wants that at this point in time. 115 workers have been killed off by cats this game. In the unit tab, we see that there's still more SCVs than there are drones. And still 7k in the bank. The mules and tanks. Raven's getting carted over. I don't know why he did this. Oh, he meant to build a refinery, and instead he accidentally seeker missiled his own dude. Sherlock plot. Got to the bottom of things. An even exchange. Viking for hatchery. KatZ is in a real desperation mode right now. 4 Ultralisks coming out. Hydralisk Den having to be rebuilt. Even the hatchery count is quite low, and now Morrow soon enough will have another 4 healthy up and running bases. Hellions continuing to move in. Oh, there's the scan. Morrow transitioning away from direct assaults to being a harassed Terran. If he can spend his money to pick off those drones in any way, he will slowly pull ahead to a lead that will not be able to be broken. We're seeing more Thor drops attempted by Morrow, who's collecting everything together. One lone Thor gets chewed up and spit out. Unit count so low, 20 drones. Almost all the drones for KatZ are right here, having to be rebuilt. Needs to begin injecting so he can begin producing drones out of all his hatcheries. But Morrow knows exactly where the weak point is. This old main base. I mean, KatZ is essentially just going to have to sacrifice this. There's absolutely nothing that KatZ can do. KatZ following over this command center. Morrow doesn't even care. Oh, the Overlord goes right by it. In fact, the Overlord doesn't even know it does. I mean, how could it not? The old Nidus network exit was right there. I mean, KatZ has just put up a freaking brilliant series with huge aggression, but I mean, Morrow showing his experience with mech, knowing all the right times to move out and with what mixture. Goodbye, roaches. Hello, auto turrets. Hive tech about to be taken down. No ability to rebuild Ultralisks. If that Ultralisk cavern should be falling. Well, the Viper could potentially deal enough damage to this base. I mean, the Blinding Cloud does work on planetary fortresses. Oh, it looks like he's going to go for the juicier Thors. And will the Abduct be close enough? He does get the Abduct off, but there's no anti-air. He just has a couple of Hydralisks. It's not enough to pick it off. Oh, gets one. But the main base still falling. 6 more Hydras in production, everything being pulled to the south. Hellion harassment at this natural expansion would spell complete doom. Can he get the Vipers out in time? No, he cannot! They connect and he loses all of them but one. All of them but 2, one of them with 1 health left remaining. There's the Blinding Cloud disabling that planetary fortress. But while Zerg is busy down south, Morrow with the Raven Thor drop up top. Point defense drones, auto turrets, not even a need for the Seeker missiles. Desperate to even up the expansion count. KatZ tries to flood in with as many Vipers as he can, but he's getting surrounded. I don't believe it. After being on the ropes for the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the game, the good game, and that means that Morrow advances to the finals. Wow, Morrow has been playing in the beta for so long, successfully gets 3-2 in the semifinal against ROOTCatZ, meaning that he now will face the winner of Grubby versus Pult. Without any further ado, I'm Day9 signing out. See you for the other semifinal.